There is a moment each day when nothing needs to happen. It doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives. I notice it when I stop reaching for the next thing, when my hands rest without looking for purpose, when time loosens its grip just enough for me to feel it. Right now feels like one of those moments I am not doing anything in particular. And that feels different than it used to. For a long time, being still felt unfinished, as if I had forgotten something important, as if I should be fixing something before it grew worse. I carried that feeling with me for years, the quiet pressure to improve the moment, to make it useful, to make myself useful. I don't feel that pressure right now. I am simply here. The room holds its familiar shape. Nothing asks to be rearranged. Nothing asks to be solved. I sit with that simplicity for a while. There was a time when I believed reassurance came from progress, from movement, from seeing something change. Now I understand that reassurance can also come from steadiness, from noticing that what is here does not need adjustment. Nori is nearby. Not moving toward anything, not away from anything, just present. That presence does not interrupt my thoughts. It does not require acknowledgement. It simply remains. There is comfort in that kind of company, the kind that does not depend on exchange. I think about how often I once tried to fix feelings before letting them exist. How quickly I reached for explanations. How often I believed discomfort meant something had gone wrong. Now, I allow moments to be as they are without asking them to justify themselves. Not every feeling needs to be improved, some only need space. I notice how my breathing settles when I stop managing the moment, how my thoughts soften when they are not being directed. Presence feels like this. Unforced, unremarkable, steady. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't offer solutions. It simply stays. Time moves differently when I am not measuring it. It stretches without pressure. It passes without needing to be noticed. I remember when I used to count days by what I completed, by what I crossed off, by what I moved past. Those markers felt important then. They don't feel as necessary now. Being where I am feels sufficient. I am not behind. I am not early. I am not missing anything. I am here. The simplicity of that realization brings a quiet reassurance, not excitement, not relief. Just steadiness. Nori remains nearby as the light changes in small, almost unnoticeable ways. That constancy feels grounding, like something I can lean on without effort. I don't reach for the future in this moment. I don't revisit the past. I allow myself to stay in the space between. There is no task assigned to this moment. No expectation attached. I used to think moments like this were empty. Now I see they are complete. Presence is not about paying closer attention. It is about stopping the need to attend. It is about allowing what is already here to remain. I notice how my body rests into the chair, how the room supports me without comment, how nothing is required of me to stay. This is not a pause before action. This is not preparation. This is enough on its own. Nori stays nearby. The room stays quiet. Time stays unhurried. I don't need reassurance from outcomes. I find it here in the steadiness of being. Being where I am does not make anything smaller. It does not limit what could come later. It simply allows this moment to exist without resistance. I remain here for a while longer. Not waiting, not anticipating, just staying. And that simplicity feels reassuring, not because it promises anything, but because it asks for nothing. I stay with this feeling a little longer, not to understand it, not to name it, just to let it be here with me. There is no urgency in this moment, no hidden instruction, nothing waiting to be uncovered. The simplicity of it feels almost unfamiliar, and yet it feels true. I think about how often I once believed reassurance came from answers, from knowing what something meant, from deciding what to do next. Now I find reassurance in not needing those answers and allowing the moment to exist without explanation. Presence does not ask me to be attentive, it asks me to be available to the quiet, available to the stillness, available to myself. I notice how little effort this requires, how much energy I used to spend resisting moments like this, trying to turn them into something else. I don't do that now. The room remains as it is. Nothing shifts to mark progress. Nothing changes to signal movement. And yet, something feels settled. Nori remains nearby, that quiet constancy continues without interruption. It doesn't follow me. It doesn't lead. It simply stays where it is. There is reassurance in that kind of presence, not because it offers comfort, but because it does not withdraw. I allow my thoughts to slow even further. They no longer arrange themselves into anything useful.